The following podcast contains scenes of graphic violence, abuse, and a unorthodox host. Viewers' discretion is advised. I mean, the host's a Gemini with 11 souls and thinks that he's a half celestial. Seriously, content fishing warning.
You know your life is just a dream, don't you?
Hello, you pitiful humans. So, on today's, I'm Koya, your amazing, beautiful, magnanimous, and all those random adjectives of a host. And today, my astrology app, it's called Costa. You can add me there. I do not remember my username yet, but it's very fun. Asked me to go on record, so here we are recording the episode because otherwise I would not have had they not asked me to record the episode. No jokes, but they're really cool. They even tell you who to hang out with and who to be friends with. I mean, I really need that advice. Anyway, on today's episode, that is the eighth episode of In the Memory of the Goldfish, I want to say Happy Valentine's Week Day to all of you, especially the singles, because I know that it's fun saying that, oh, I'm my own Valentine, but on the inside, you're all eating corn dogs and crying or something. I don't know. And so today, since it's Valentine's, and apparently, so it happened that I'm gonna be covering a rapist who could have possibly raped over 100 women in his career as a rapist and other condom related shit. So, yeah, that's about it. And in case you know about the rapist, he's called the Rotherhamshire rapist. He's from Britain, and in case you did not know about it, stay tuned. And in case you did, then obviously stay tuned because it's me who's gonna be telling the tale. It's gonna be the most amazing thing in the world. Talking about the most amazing things in the world, let's jump right on to the fishy news. So the first fishy news is from California, where it said that California may make it illegal to remove a condom without consent. I mean, this is so freaking cool. Like, imagine a world where corporate lawyers and these criminal lawyers and divorce lawyers are just like little kids who do not have anything to do with their life, and the main jobs are in law is of sex lawyers because they're gonna draft what's the word? I forgotten the word. What the fuck? Contracts for people who want to have sex. Like, all right, so this is the consent paper on which we'll sign, and these are the exact things that we're gonna like make sure not to do. What not to do? Oh my god, I'm so lost today. I have no idea what's that. Why is that? Oh good lord, I need some kind of medication. Do you need any medication for like perpetual confusion and having a memory of a goldfish? um like, how cool would it be? Like, people will no longer ask people to be their Valentine. Would you like to be a signee on my contract, please? Yeah, I am hoping for a world like this where the consent is both written and like clerical in nature. How fun will that be? Hookups will be a thing of a past and people would not give me shade for being a demisexual. Yay! Dogs, 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 keep on barking, dogs, because now I'm recording and it's your sixth sense that you know. I'm recording, however, on a serious note. I was going through the statistics and it says that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men who have had sex with men have seen that the men have either poked holes in the condoms or removed it without consent, or this is basically called still thing. And then I also came across this other article which said that males are no longer important in the reproductive procedure thingy because two females can produce a baby of their own. Like, one female gives her bone marrow, the other one's eggs, and voila, we have a baby. So men are basically utterly useless. All cis men can like just go and fuck themselves because the world does not need them anymore, and you're basically assholes. And I'm so happy that you're gonna go. Men's the problem, people feed out the weed. The second one, talking about amazing men, fired tear gas on employees to test it as it had been unused for a long time. Pakistan minister. So basically, what happened was there was some kind of protests in Islamabad, and like the police or the military decided to shoot like 1,000 shells of tear gas on people, and the very next day, I'm trying to find the specific article that I can quote this dude properly, but I'm not able to find it right now. Oh yeah, found it. Yeah, so he basically said, and as I quote, necessary to test the tear gas as it has been unused for a long time. Only a little was tested, not a lot. Goodness gracious, people. What the actual fuck? I mean, yeah, so that's what he actually said, that yeah, we just try tear gas on people because it's fun, and we gotta try out the military equipment. Tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and try a nuclear weapon someplace because it's been unused for, I don't know, for good fucking World War II. But let's try things, shall we not? I mean, he's using his employees as condoms. Not really condoms, basically diapers. He's using them and throwing them away. But seriously, I mean, I feel the entire episode is going on a very weird direction. Maybe because I'm weird. Like, there are too many condoms. I mean, not too many condoms. They're like men who act like condoms, men who are condoms because they're useless and just throwable and lanky panky idiotic. Anyway, I should script this bit, otherwise I'm gonna get nuked one day by some Pakistani or Israeli or anybody that I decide to, I don't know, offend during the podcast. Anyway, moving on to the out of the blue. And here also I'm gonna start with another political statement that about the impeachment bullcrap that just happened, and a lot of people are like that Democrats receded and it's very wrong that they did. But my opinion, and as my beautiful app said to go on record and like make a joke of myself because I really do not know what I'm talking about anymore, is that it's kind of right that they did that, because they were during the trial, the jury was half of the people who Trump had basically fucked over again and again. So Trump would have been acquitted, Trump would have been proven guilty. However, the Republicans, the Senates that some people decided to put in the, I don't know, the Oval Office, whatever thing that is the parliament, those people, those absolute shitty human beings, husks of human beings, basically put the American economy, the American people as hostage, that you go ahead with this, we won't vote on bills, we won't vote on anything, we will put America to a stop. So the Democrats went back, they receded because they fucking care and they do not really act like assholes, because they're not power hungry people. Like, not the general consensus is not power hungry. Yeah, and then the second thing I wanted to talk about is also related to Valentine's Day condoms, torn condoms, and shit. Children, because most children are a product of shielding. Let's be honest, nobody wanted this idiotic craps in their life, did they? Anyway, so black-eyed kids or black-eyed children, and I like often confuse them with like Black Eyed Peas the band. So these are basically children who range from the age of 6 to 18 usually, and they come and knock at people's door and ask them for shit. Like, when you look at them, they're usually totally like normal children. In most cases, they're dressed up in a little, I don't know, early 1900s, and they speak in a very, I don't know how to put it, respectful manner. Like, they say, hello, ma'am. They have a slight accent, and children nowadays are complete assholes. We all know that. So, so they come, they have black eyes, and people have like this entire Reddit pages just talking about people and their experiences with the black-eyed children. So a lot of theories surround them. The first and the most common ones being like these are dead children, they're ghosts who just like randomly visit places. This author I was reading about, he decided that this is like a mass hallucination thingy caused by a drug or a military fault in the area. And like some idiots just simply say, oh, it's an urban myth. No, you are an urban myth. Your existence is an urban myth, not black-eyed kids, because they are so cool. And talking, like getting into more depth of it, and then I'm gonna give another two things which are gonna be even fuck all, which are not fuck all. We won't use the word fuck anymore. We'll use the word fish all, which are like really fish all. So those are basically, no, I'll come to those later. What the fuck am I doing today? Good lord. A lot of people have said that whenever they are encountered with, when there's an encounter with the black-eyed children, first they feel like rushing to the door, and as soon as they rush to the door, they have this very deep sense of dread and terror which boils up inside of them. And I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this. I'm like, "Wurr," because I read a few stories and each of them chilled me right to my bone. And so usually these children, they knock like at weird times of the night, and they ask you to use your phone, and like they knock on your door and then they ask if they can use your phone. And if some person says that they do not have phones, they say, all right, they like look at each other and they go like, can we please use the washroom? And usually it's all very scripted and very animate, in the sense that they are always looking down. They really do not look at you in their eyes, and they start crying and start showing emotions on cue, which is very like, you know how the Google woman speaks the directions, she just like in that mechanical sort of manner. And when people do not let them in, they start to growl, they start to shout, they start to become like really assertive, that let us in, and like this start to bang. And I, oh my goodness, I'm still getting goosebumps because I'm anyway very scared of normal children. And now comes a child with jet black eyes, no pupil, no nothing, and it looks at you with like this dark shit everywhere. I'm okay, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna just, I don't know, never poke holes in my fucking condom for one. Then these black-eyed kids also not only come visit people at their house, they also visit people while they're in their cars, and they ask them to come in, ask them for money. And when you say no, they get like really aggressive and they start being assertive in nature and shit. And yeah, so they're basically super duper creepy. Like, oh god, they're so fucking creepy. I hate kids. And anyway, to the last two of these things. Yes, I'll come to the late. My notes are so weird. I've literally written car thing, people thing, dot thing, black eyes, phone thing, washroom thing. Like, I imagine myself, I give myself enough credit that I'll be able to understand whatever the fish I'm trying to explain in these notes. Why am I abusing so much? Something's wrong with me. Yeah, something's like really wrong with me. Give me validation or something. I don't know. Anyway, where am I in my notes? Yep. So also, not a lot of people have actually invited these kids in, because duh, like, why invite any kids in your house? They are like a messy thingy people, creatures. For the ones who were like weird enough to invite the children in, they were diagnosed with cancers. Usually the cancers which were caused by radiation poisoning. And the children, when they enter your house, they do not really call, they do not drink, they do not eat, they do not do anything. They just say our parents are coming to pick us up. And the said parents, they come in like a black car, suit and tie and shit, and the children go with them. Or in the cases where the children are not allowed to enter, they go away giggling or something, or they suddenly just disappear in thin air. They're just weird. If you invite them, you get like radiation therapy, radiation poisoning. And if you don't, then you just like, I don't know, get anger tantrums. It's like, I'll anyway go with anger tantrums though on this one. Yes, the final two theories, the two which I absolutely like, the ones I love the most. The first one being like, a lot of demon hunters, I would say that children are often a way how demons themselves disguise themselves as, because they become very, I don't know, um Unsupportable? No. Like, what's the good word for, like, give me a nice adjective to define children. I'm not able to find any. So they become those nice adjectives for children, and so they become very approachable, and that way they can like harm other people. And the second, which is the coolest and the most sort of kind of right one, given the radiation poisoning and the parents who are coming in a black car with the suit and tie, and how these kids, they dress up in like vintage clothing, speak weirdly in mechanical movements. Aliens. So a lot of theories, they basically suggest that these children are most probably aliens or alien prototypes sent down here to like investigate people's houses and shit. So yeah, whatever that is. And I think that I should most probably be giving out like warnings in the starting, how that, or is the main podcast gonna start at like 15 minutes or like 20 minutes, so you can like jump to that, and before that it's just me rambling random shit. Yeah. And finally, to the main part of the podcast, the story. So the story is called Tippity Tippity Tap, and if you do not know, it's basically a child's game like Tippity Tippity Tap. What color you want? I choose green. Oh, you shut up. And yeah, it does not go like that, but that basically is it. You can like Google it up. It's a fun game, and I'm all for ruining the experience for you. Anyway, so the story is called Tippity Tippity Tap. The date I've given it is 14th August 1986. The time is 22 hours 30 minutes. Shut up, shut up, shut up. No, look how she walks. She isn't even really concerned with us. You should do your bidding and take us home. You'll be better to us. I do not understand what to do. I find my hands running across my face, pulling my hair as if they were trying to take the stocking off my face, rip it out, and not do this again. Oh, she's a slut. She's just walking to her boy. You are giving her what she wants and helping yourselves. What's wrong with that? Her stilettos spoke as she was tapping away. For the ones who are not able to understand it, even I'm not able to understand it, so like, courage. I knew that there was a field nearby. I knew that this would be very easy. She was walking rather slowly. It felt as if she wanted me to come and take her away. She seemed to be in some kind of joy. While walking, she ran her finger across the dew-wet board, which said Hatherley Road. Hatherley Road. I have no idea how to. I should ideally look up pronunciations for all the places I'm going to mispronounce totally in the podcast, but I need to give you some reason to like scream at me when I say wrong things now. Entertainment. So she runs her finger across the duvet board. The clouds were making the night sky lighter than usual. How inconvenient, I think. I saw a little boy who was cleaning and looking out of his window. Whatever must. What? What? Whatever must be doing that. Whatever. Why must he be doing that, I think. Go sleep. The nights can be scary. Oh, stop your jabbering and come take me. You know I want that. You useless man, see me walk away and you will see me again. You think that the other bitch will give you the satisfaction that my girl can? No, never. Come, you pillock. Oh, now those crossed it. Oh, now I'm going to ruin their girl. I take out the black stocking from my pocket. I run. I hate it. Like, it's a segue now. I absolutely hate it that when I write such stories in first person, and while reading them, like, I am doing these things. And I've even named the character Koi, for fuck's sake. I'm not like this, guys. I'm a very nice, polite, good person. Anyway, continuing with the story now. So basically, the shoes called him a pillock now, and he continues. I run towards her, carefully that only my toes touch the ground as I run towards her. I even scrunched down a little bit. As I was close enough, she saw me. I know she did. She couldn't know. She couldn't know what I wanted. I jumped at her. Oh, how amazing I am. How I could already feel the excitement in her at my excellence and immaculate timing. I used the stocking to gag her and use as a leash to pull her. She was tapping her feet and screaming. I could feel her shoes laughing in glee. The windows of the house right up front lit up. I worked swiftly to drag her. The laughters of the stilettos, right? That's how you call them. Stilettos was encouraging me, making me happy. I hit her to make her quieter. Who's the pillock now, bitch? I was backing away, nearing the field. The white gates and the thing's constant laughter was making it more difficult than needed to drag her down to the bushes. I just realized that I'm trying to finish the story as soon as possible because I cannot really. I read the word I and I'm like, oh my god, no! So, yes, I managed to somehow throw her through, but as I was coming in, the little gate jammed into my thigh. I stumbled and lost my grip on her. She took the chance and started to run ahead. Her little red skirt made it very easy to spot her. Never wear a red skirt with everything black, girl. You know, this little red skirt part, this is actually a documentary that I saw which talked about this. So I'm not sure if she actually wore a red skirt, but in that documentary she wore all black and a red skirt, and they say that that's how he was, I don't know, able to spot her in the darkness or something. Anyway, continuing. He says, "Oh, don't worry, we'll make her fall." Her shoes reassured. And they did. They stumbled a little on the gravel, making her stop momentarily. It was enough time for me to extend my hands and grab her by her hair. I jerked her head back, and her body slammed into mine. Even her body wanted this. I wanted to get it closer. It wanted to get closer. I tied her hands with a stocking. I didn't let go of her hair. Oh, how well they smelled. I should ask her what she uses. I'm sure Patricia would like this. Patricia, by the way, is gonna be very important when I start to talk about the actual story. I remember Patricia distinctly because I was like, no, thinking about her. I got another stocking. If you can hear this voice, if you cannot, amazing. If you can, it's like this entire group of motorcycles which have been crossing my house since yesterday, and I have no idea why they aren't like freaking leaving already, but they are doing that, and my throat hurts. Wait, I'm gonna take a rest now. Anyway, continuing, I'm sure I won't give you any more spoilers now. We were at Patricia, him smelling the hair of the victim and wanting it to recommend those products to Patricia if she was kind enough to tell him. I got another stocking to tie her thighs to her neck. She had stopped screaming now. I was so glad that her shoes didn't leave her feet, unlike the last one. That was so unfortunate. I was so disappointed that I had to make her happy twice. Thinking of her made me wish to have this one even more. I yanked her feet out of the way. I thought that I should let her know what I'm about to do. So I did. I came closer to her ear and I said, I'm going to sexually assault you. She started to whimper after hearing this. I don't know why. Why can't she just enjoy herself? Bloody stuck up bitch. I entered her. It was alright. I was waiting for the end so much. I kept on pushing. And oh yes, I could feel myself itching. Oh yes, I saw it again. The room where I was. I could feel the stress on my mind, the stress on my neck, the adrenaline, the breathlessness. It was some kind of garage. This boy came to see the person. He seemed to be taken aback. Ah, that was it. Each time it's just that. I never get to see what happens next in the scene. This girl was just as useless. I pulled my pants up. This was a little uncomfortable for me, you know. The wind was making me feel cold. I tore her blouse and took her chain. It was a tasteless golden. I tossed it as I was walking away. I did take her lovely shoes and purse with me. I knew and they knew that I was the better company. I found my ring was missing. Oh, that's sad. It's fine. It's not like I'm doing anything wrong anyway. Yeah, that's the end of this the worst story that I've ever written in my life. Whoosh. And yeah. I think as a as an aspiring true crime paranormal podcast host, I should get less disturbed by reading my own stories and then going into like this moment of silence for my own existence, that what and why am I even doing this? But I am doing this because I have no idea why I'm doing this. Oh, on this note, also, I've crossed the mark of 500 downloads or listens to the podcast. So, yeah, on that. And that's the only nice thing which is gonna happen in the entire episode for a while now. Anyway, so the story is inspired from this man called James Lloyd. He, a British man, he admitted to raping a 21-year-old woman in December of 1983, another 21-year-old in October 1984, an 18-year-old in December 1984, another 18-year-old in 1986. He also did 2 attempted rapes in 1983 and June 2004. So this guy is the Rotherham shoe rapist. His actual name is James Lloyd, I'm sorry. And as I mentioned in the story, he took women's stilettos away. That was his MOU, I guess that's the word. That was his victim profile, a woman wearing stilettos. He terrorized the England area for 3 years, 4 years. I'm very bad with math, some good amount of years. And he was basically an asshole through and through. The first time that he raped it was mild, but as he started to, with the frequencies, he started to get even more and more violent. There was this another attempted rape that he did, where it was, I believe, a very old woman. I believe she was 54 at the time, and for some reason he was not able to get an erection. So he masturbated on her thighs and left. There were 2 times that he was not able to have sex, and in both cases he did something utterly despicable and stole their shoes instead. He gagged his victims with stockings. He concealed his own face with stockings. And you know the bit about I'm going to sexually assault you is something that he actually said to his own victim. It was not me writing badly. It was something that he actually said. And fun fact, he was not caught for about 20 years after committing these crimes, because there was basically no proof. There was they were not able to identify. They picked up DNA samples, which are going to be important later on, but at the time they were not able to find anybody. And yeah, so he was an ass who like lived for over 20 years freely after committing all these crimes. His last rape was after entering a relationship with the woman he ended up marrying, Patricia. It was, I believe, 3 months after they were in a relationship properly. That was his last rape. And about how the police ended up finding this guy, that's the craziest story in the entire universe. So his sister was arrested on a charge of drunken drive, and she ended up matching with the DNA samples of the rapist as they were trying to reanalyze it in 2002 after a BBC documentary. And they got like thousands and thousands of familial DNAs and peoples and possibilities, and they kept on like individually assessing each and like taking them out of the question and stuff depending on ethnicity, gender, etc. And so when the police went to his sisters, she said that she did not know where he lived, but she had a brother named James Lloyd. She also said that they haven't been on talking terms for a while, so she had no idea where he lived and such. But she did call him up and tell him that the police was looking for him. The police, on the other hand, was able to find his address because this idiot, and like, look at his audacity, some kind of garden ornament issue happened in his house, and he lodged a complaint for that. A person who raped women lodged a complaint because something happened to his stupid fucking garden. But that also ended up becoming his doom, because that way the police was able to like really find out his location. And when they reached there, he was trying to kill himself. He was trying to commit suicide, and his son saw him after returning from school, I believe, and helped him off. He, in this time, by the time police reached, he had called up almost everybody that he knew and told them that he had done something wrong and he had done something bad 20 years back, and he's like a bad person. And like, being a bad person is an understatement, you know. So when he was obviously arrested, the police started to look into his house, where they found stilettos, a lot of shoes, and like big uncomfortable shoes which a person cannot possibly wear. Those were a part of his, I don't know, shoe fetishes. They also found tapes of him and his wife, which I believe, like, everybody believes that he must have recorded, in which it feels like that she has been drugged or is like in a drugged state while he's having intercourse with her. And in each she was wearing stilettos. And how he actually did with one of his victims that he raped in a toilet stand, that when he was raping her, one of her stilettos fell down. He picked it up and very politely put it back on her feet and started to assault her again. So there's that. I keep on getting goosebumps thinking about these things. And so yeah, so when they like went through those videos and stuff, it was obvious that he had a very strong foot fetish, and there were some places where it felt like his wife was drugged by him because of the state that she was in, but we are not very sure, as she herself denied any claims such as like that she was drugged or anything was done without her consent. Then they like the police was hitting a dead end again, because most of the evidence they had was circumstantial, and even if they were able to like pinpoint his DNA, still the jury, I don't know, wanted more proof or shit. So there was what is this guy's name again? Lloyd used to work at a graphic designing and a printing placey thingy where the police started to find his things, but they were not able to find anything really. So they asked with the employees, and they said that he had another office upstairs wherein he used to spend a lot of times and did not allow anybody really to go in that office. So the police started to find it and go through the office, and they found a trap door there where they found something quoting the police officer, magnificent. And what this magnificent thing was, they were basically over 120 pairs of stilettos that he had kept there, along with magazines, memorabilia from the rapes that he had done. There were bracelets of the victims that the victims later even recognized. All right, this was something which belonged to me, which was stolen when I was assaulted. And they had like pure, proper proof of everything. The saddest part in this case is that the police, out of all the shoes found, a lot of those shoes were used. Those were worn shoes. So the police think that this guy raped over 100 women, but we do not know that because they couldn't really prove it. So he was charged for 4 rapes and 2 attempted rapes. Talking about rapes and murder, one of the victims who revealed her anonymity actually said that rape is just one slight step below murder and must be treated like the killing of a person, because it kills a person, their ability to survive in the society, because it's sad. And the saddest part of all was the judgment which came for Lloyd. He was initially convicted for 15 years, as the judge decided that there have been sexual assaults more heinous than this. I do not know how people can measure somebody's suffering. Things have been more heinous, something's bad is bad. How, I do not know. I'm not a judge, but there was that. But he also his sentence was later reduced because he was an ideal prisoner to 7 years and 200 something days. So it was in the mid 2010s that he was actually released and allowed to roam free, whatever he wanted to do. So yeah, that's the story behind the Rotham shoe rapist James Lloyd. And yeah, there's that. Oh, there's also this one thing with this investigation that I found out, that there was an actual undercover police officer who dressed up with his MOU. She wore a short skirt, heels, and she used to walk around the streets acting as a target, but that was also dead end. Now things like this is not legal anymore in England. However, in 1910s, they used to allow female officers to become bait for rape victims and stuff. So yeah, there's that. The world's fun, I think. And now, do not leave. Now, there's also some important things. First is the validation episode. You know what validations episodes. Yes, validation episodes are: send in your stories anyway, just this is the email address, koi@madebyNephics.com. Send in your stories there. I'll read them. I'd love to talk with you. Reach out. The podcast is hosted by Koi On Air. It's co-produced with Nephics. You can find my personal handles on Twitter and Instagram as Koi On Air. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcast, leave me a review. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm close, and my eyes are closed as I'm recording this. So spare me your things that I still haven't been able to memorize all those things. I'm a child, okay? Spare me the things. And the music's by Lil Addy. Amazing human being, amazing music. You should totally check him out. And that's it. Bye bye, alligators. Now you're allowed to go. You should listen to the entire credits because it's important. Bye.